So what do you do when you finally met that special someone, you're clicking, you've fallen in love, you've got this great relationship, but then their in-laws come into the picture and that creates a whole nother level of conflict. Today, we're going to be talking about 3 powerful ways to deal with difficult in-laws. Check it out. Hey there, this is Matt Boggs, and I'm the co-founder and executive director of the Brave Thinking Institute, where our mission is empowering people to create and live a life they love, and that includes your love life. So if you like this video, take a moment and click that subscribe button and click that little bell, because every week we bring you videos to empower you in your love life. So now I'm coming to you today from the desk of Matt Boggs, and my team forwarded me an email that came in, grabbed my attention, thought it might be relevant to something that you would be going through either now or later. And here's what this woman writes. Check this out. This is Camilla. And Camilla says, Matt, I'm one of your followers, and thanks to your advice and content, I have found my dream man already. He's perfect, and we get along very well, and we're happy with each other. However, his mother, and she puts OMG. You know, there's a whole lot that is encompassed in those 3 letters right there. She goes, I'll spare you all the details, but my point is, it would be great if you could develop content on how to deal on our own and as a couple with in-laws, ex-spouses, with or without kids. Unfortunately, after all the challenge it is to find and keep a partner in a relationship, we all want to be happily ever after until death do us part, not until in-laws do us part. Hoping you consider the suggestion and looking forward to seeing the added content on the above, hopefully this year. Well, Camilla, thank you for sending this in. And yes, let's dive into this right now, because so many people have this same experience. You're in a great relationship with somebody. You love that relationship. It's passionate, it's meaningful, it's amazing. And that comes with family or close friends or relatives that aren't so easy to deal with. And that's just the nature of life. Our ability to evolve spiritually on this planet, I believe, is tied to our ability to learn how to give and receive love better. And that doesn't happen when everything is just easy. But it's often the most challenging people in our lives. Those are the ones that actually cause our hearts to evolve the most. I remember the Dalai Lama talking about this and suggesting that it's really been the Chinese government that have had the largest role in helping him evolve his heart. Because without the Chinese government murdering and decimating not only his people, but their culture, the Tibetan culture, he wouldn't have to have evolved his heart to have the capacity for compassion that he has. And so that's one beautiful mindset that we can bring to this, is saying, okay, difficult people equal a greater capacity in ourselves to love. It doesn't mean it's easy, but without that force in our lives, we wouldn't have to evolve our hearts any larger. And so the first concept when you're dealing with someone who's difficult, they're just tough to be around, is to recognize that they're giving you the best that they can. If they knew better, they would do better. And that's a really tough concept to get at first. I think it's always easy for us to hold people to a higher standard and say, well, they can do better, and we believe in the potential in people. But at the end of the day, if that's the way they're operating, then that's clearly what their level of consciousness is. And often we'll take someone who's only giving us, 6 ounces of respect and hold them to saying, no, you should be giving me 12 ounces of respect right now. Well, what if their glass really only has 6? Really what they're giving you is everything that they've got. Then what you do is you start to make different decisions. You can say, okay, if it's this person's nature, if this is their personality is at this level of consciousness, then how am I gonna engage in that kind of a relationship? If you're in the wild and you're gonna go up to a scorpion and you're gonna pick that scorpion up and you're gonna play with that scorpion and you're gonna say, oh, I like the scorpion. Even if the scorpion doesn't sting you in that moment, if after a while of playing with that scorpion, the scorpion stings you, do you get mad at the scorpion? No, because that's the scorpion's nature, is to sting. Instead, what you do, if you want to have a relationship with that scorpion, if you want to be closer to that scorpion, what you do is you put on protective gear. You put on a glove. Even if the scorpion does attempt to sting you, it doesn't injure you. It doesn't hurt you. You can do the same thing mentally with in-laws. And I first learned this concept called the bubble of peace from our doula. When my wife, Irene, is pregnant with our first child, Isabella, Irene wanted to give natural childbirth. And our doula talked about how important Irene's mindset is when she was about to give birth, and how sometimes doctors or nurses will come in and they'll have their own agenda and they'll flip on the lights, or they will say something that, talk about C-sections or put some thoughts or ideas that aren't in alignment with really what my wife would want and really don't serve Irene. The doula talked about this thing called the bubble of peace. She goes, before someone comes in, or before you're gonna have this conversation with someone, mentally imagine that you've got a bubble of peace around you and that nothing can infiltrate, nothing can penetrate this bubble of peace. So if you're gonna engage in an in-law that's challenging, before you even enter the room, before you even go into the house or they come into your space, put a mental bubble of peace around you, this beautiful golden light bubble of peace. And that whatever comment they make some snide comment about the way your house looks or the way your food tastes or the clothes that you're wearing or what you did last weekend and how that wasn't the right move. Whatever comment they make, imagine that comment bounces off the bubble of peace and goes right back to them. Eleanor Roosevelt has a great quote where she says, all of the water in the world can't drown you if it doesn't get in you. And your bubble of peace prevents those negative snide comments from getting inside of you, and it protects your energy field. So that's the first thing, is to employ that bubble of peace to help protect your energy. Number two is detach your kindness from their response. It's really easy to connect the desire to be kind to someone with how they respond to our kindness. Like if you say, oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful meal. Thank you it's delicious. Thank you for making this meal. And the person is delighted at your response, where they say, oh, thank you so much, that's so kind. It's easy to be nice to that person, isn't it? It's easier versus if you say, hey, this is a beautiful meal, and they say, well, it's a lot better than the meal you served us last week, or they have some comeback that's either critical or hurtful or cynical or something like that. It's less easy to be nice to that person. But if you know that it's that person's nature, if you know that that's just the way that they are, they just come out with these negative, horrible, critical ways of being. Number one, you get to decide how much you're in that environment. But if that human being matters to the person that you love, chances are you're going to be around them at some point. And so what you can do is make a commitment to kindness irrespective of their response. And in that bubble of peace, say, you know what? I'm going to offer olive branches. I'm going to offer nice comments, whether they receive them or not. Because often people are so unhappy with their own life. They're so unhappy with themselves. Any positive comment, the only thing they know what to do with that is to twist it, manipulate it, degrade it, or cast it aside, right? They have a very hard time letting those positive comments land. But if you just continue to be that person of love, offer the olive branch, and extend that kindness, it can have massive transformational results. I remember this great joke that my mother told me one time. She said this man was really upset with his mother-in-law and wanted to take her out. He's like, you know what? I hate my mother-in-law. I hate her. I'm going to kill her. And so he goes to the wise man of the village and he says, I want you to help me get rid of my mother-in-law. She is just poisonous. She's horrible. I want to kill her. And the wise man said, okay, I will help you kill your mother-in-law. But here's what we must do first. For 2 months, you have to be the nicest you've ever been to your mother-in-law. Help her with the food, help her around the house, help fix these things, do errands for her, so that by the time you finally kill her, no one will suspect that it's you, because they will all assume you love your mother-in-law too much. And so the man says, oh, that's a brilliant idea. I love that idea. I'm gonna go be nice to my mother-in-law, then we will kill her. And the wise man says, okay. Man goes away. 2 months later, the gentleman who was mad at his mother-in-law doesn't come back to see the wise man. And about a month after that, the wise man is in the village at the farmer's market and getting vegetables, and he sees the man with his mother-in-law. And he's like, sir. The wise man goes up to the man and says, sir, come here. And the gentleman moves away from his mother-in-law, says, yeah, can I help you? And he's like, well, are we going to kill your mother-in-law? If you came to see me kill your mother-in-law, now it's been 3 months. How are things going? Are you ready to take her out? And the man was like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe that I had that conversation with you. I can't kill my mother-in-law. I love her too much. And I love that story Because often how we pour into somebody else, how we give to them, there's a power that can happen in that moment. It has the power to transform that relationship. And it's often when we hold back our own love and compassion and kindness because the other person's holding back, that's when the relationship separates and denigrates. But if you can, irrespective of their response to your kindness, continue to add on the kindness, eventually you will see a shift. And the last step, number 3, when dealing with difficult in-laws, is to remember that appreciating feedback doesn't equal implementing feedback. So in other words, one of the most challenging things about difficult in-laws is where they've got an opinion about everything, right? They want to tell you how to raise your kids. They want to tell you what you should be eating. They want to tell you how you got to have your house. They want to tell you how to cook. They want to tell you when you should be back, where you should travel, all of that stuff. And they've got opinions about everything. Opinions about the way you're doing stuff. They want you to change how you're doing things. And so it can be really tempting to engage and debate those opinions. But you got to remember, you're an adult. You are the queen or the king of your domain. You get to make the decisions for your life. You get to make the decisions for your home. And so if an outside person has an opinion about the way things are, you don't have to engage and debate in order to remain doing things the way that you want to do those things. All that you need to do in that moment is simply say, thank you for your feedback. Thank you for your input. Oh, you know what? Thank you for your input. You don't even have to say that's a great idea, but just say, thank you for your input. Thank you for your feedback. That way they know that you heard them, and that if you even want to take it one step further and say, thank you for their feedback, I'm going to consider that. Doesn't mean you're going to do it. It just means you're going to consider it. That is a way better response. And most people don't even know that they have the ability to not engage and debate those things. They have you are fully empowered to just say, you know what, thank you for your feedback, and then move on. Switch the topic and move on to something else that you both can agree upon. And that way, when you're together, you're able to navigate away from the bumpy, tumultuous, conflict-ridden conversation paths, more to the things that you know you can agree on, that you know you're going to have a good connection towards, and make it through that interaction. So implement the bubble of peace before you even get together. Recognize that your kindness does not have to be dictated by their response. You can give kindness irrespective of their response, and you can receive feedback without actually implementing that feedback, and honor the contribution that they're trying to make, recognizing that whatever feedback they are giving, they're giving it because at some place in them, recognize it's not them trying to control you or manipulate you or all of that. Instead, make meaning out of it that, you know what, this is their best attempt at loving me right now. This is their best attempt at caring about me right now. And when you take it from that place and simply say, thank you for your feedback, it transforms everything. So my question for you is, what have you found to be great ways to deal with difficult in-laws? Go ahead and share those strategies and comments in the comment section below. I appreciate you. You've got this, and I'll talk to you soon.